Hello everyone and welcome to the chocolate edition. It is the Belgian Grand Prix here on F1 2015 co-op edition and the McLaughlins are back. My name is Mr. Valkenberg and alongside me as ever is the Ben, who's just recently got actually his most highest grid slot of the year in real life. But we prefer the fake Ben.
Yes, buenos dias. I tell you what, that's a lot to talk about, that qualifying session from yesterday. I am actually hyped to talk about that qualifying session. But I am doing well, generally. Not quite as well as my namesake, but doing quite well. This is my bogey track again, though, isn't it?
Oh my god. It sounds like you've got, I was going to say you've got AIDS. That's not the right one. It sounds like you've got a cold. so many bogeys, so little time.
I do have a lot of bogey tracks because I'm a poor driver. But I always get mugged here and at Silverstone and at Canada. Those are my main three
straights as well.
And every straight in this game I get mugged as well. It doesn't matter. I could remove all wing from my car and turn all the power up to maximum, and I would still get mugged by the AI. But that's, to be fair, that's because we spent most of our time with inferior cars.
Well, we are always in really, really crappy cars. It's just occurred to me that while I'm recording audio in game, it's not going to pop up for you whilst we're in loading screen. So I'll just talk during the loading screen. We are always in the shitty powered cars. So I actually don't think it's a mark on your driving at all, Esteban. It is actually that
I do. No. Yesterday I did my first ever fast lap in Project Cars.
Yes, yesterday you did do your first ever lap in Project Cars. Go check that out, people. I feel that there's a good series about to happen with that game.
A series full of accidents, a series of insurance claims is what's going to come out of that. But what happened, the video had been up like 20 minutes, and one of my regular viewers just left a comment saying, "You really need a steering wheel." Because you can see that I'm like bashing the analog stick left and right to try and correct things when the torque kicks in.
Well, have you played around with the controller setup in Project Cars? Because I found that very, very similar. But having played in loads and loads of games that you really should have a real wheel in, but I've managed to get away with a controller. There are certain ways how you can kind of get it so that it is smoother than what that video makes it out to be.
I mean, to be honest, and we will get into real F1 in a moment, but to be honest, if you can't justify buying a steering wheel after 5 years of doing a cooperative Let's Play of a Formula 1 game, then you have to question your own commitment, really. But what's always put me off, and it sounds really lame, is that the AI nearly took me into the pit wall there. What's always put me off is that I don't have a lot of room on my desk, and it's just a big chunky peripheral that 99% of the time I don't need. And while I agree it's like right to have it, what's happened to my frame rate?
I was having frame rate issues around here earlier when I look back for some reason, so I won't be looking back too much.
I don't know why we spend so much time looking backwards, because there's never anyone behind us.
It's making
They're
sure
always
the blue
like a
flags
mile
aren't out yet.
So, I guess, we should... How are my tyres overheating? Just all. Oh no, it's fine, I have a sneeze building. I can feel it.
Well, don't do it into poo on, otherwise that would be like a double-barreled out of all ends.
Well, I'm more importantly trying not to do it into the ears of everybody listening. I think by no longer breathing out of my nose, I have got it under control.
Remember to breathe out your mouth. That's the only problem.
Oh, yeah. I think it's gone. I think it's gone, and that enables me, through the power of breathing, to talk about qualifying yesterday.
Yes. Let's have more rain and dry and rain and dry sessions. I do like it when things like that happen.
Yeah, it always spices things up. It never delivers a dull result. I mean, it's not a great argument for Bernie's idea to let's put sprinklers on the track.
I remember that.
I mean, I could see why he said it, but it was the stupidest fucking thing I'd ever heard, aside from the why don't we give gold, bronze and silver medals out every race.
That still makes me shudder, that idea.
He's he's one of those owners, and I know this is a really bad example for most people, but I was one of those kids who temporarily got bitten by the wrestling bug in the late 90s when it was the big thing in British high schools to watch American wrestling, and it didn't last very long, but the guy who runs that company as well is the same. Like, he's obsessed with it no longer really being a sport, but being entertainment. And like for wrestling, you can kind of get away with it, but for F1, it just is a sport. It's got to have a sporting legitimacy, and I don't think like artificial weather conditions. I mean, I still don't even agree with the virtual safety car, to be honest. I can't figure out what purpose it's supposed to be serving exactly. Can you explain it to me? Maybe I'm an idiot.
So I get what they're trying to do, as in they don't want to bunch up the entire field, so why not neutralise the race very, very quickly, and then we'll all kind of get whatever the problem is out of the way. Verstappen's only off, by the way. Oh.
Yeah, he ran into the back of me like a knobhead.
Oh, great.
he did bring it on himself.
That beautiful AI. Oh, a bit like qualifying and free practice then with all of his suspension failures. But yeah, the virtual safety car. I get what they're trying to do, so that if there's something just immediately a problem that they don't want to bunch up the entire field with a safety car, you can get away with it. I think the problem for me is that there is no hard or fast rule as to what is for what, and so it's very much up to like track course discretion, and therefore it kind of doesn't help itself very much.
But to me, the safety car bunching up the field is the best thing about the safety car. I mean, unless you're watching a driver you really want to win who has no place being first, suddenly being mugged because of a safety car. And I suppose actually the VSC does sort of. We've all heard these ideas that occasionally a safety car happens without it really needing to take place in order to spice up the race.
Yeah.
And I guess it's can I just say once again, and I would apologise to people I might offend, but I'm not going to. NASCAR is so stupid. Am I right in thinking that there's one series, I don't know if it is a NASCAR sanctioned series, but there is a series where you have a race for so many laps,
yes,
and then you have a one-lap race at the end. So they bunch up the field, and then you do one final lap, and that's what counts.
That sounds like almost every NASCAR race ever, but it is the big issue is that they've gone for the NASCAR Truck Series, where you can only race 25 laps caution free, and then they'll bring out the caution flag and the safety car kind of thing anyway. So
why?
So I don't know. It's like they can't be trusted to go for 26 laps without crashing. I don't know why. America must have ratings. And that's
that was
me. Oh, Hulkenberg.
Hulkenberg again?
They were all busy slowing to pit, and I was busy banzaiing the bus stop. Sorry.
I'm on a really lazy in-lap now because my second flying lap was just a dog's breakfast.
What position are you in?
It was really poor. Where are you, Cocker?
5th, 6th now.
Get out.
Gosh.
You have no place being that proficient.
It will all go horribly wrong, I'm sure. I seem to over business qualify and under business deliver in the race for me. But yeah, I feel uncomfortable with the virtual safety car, and also I was watching. Oh, it was an amazing GP2 race yesterday. Actually, if anyone watches GP2, I love a bit of GP2. GP3 less so because they don't seem to overtake nearly as much. And it doesn't. Well, there's a few people in GP3 that I really, really like. Shout out to Charles Leclerc, who is going to be an amazing star one day. That's my tip for Simon. Simon's inseminations into F1.
There's only a few cars out on track. We should consider getting out
but
there.
the GP2 race had virtual safety car, and not everyone reacts at the same time, and they start like they go for like banzai overtakes or creaming into the back of each other, and it's either one or the other, and you're never quite sure which one you're going to get. So I don't think the virtual safety car really does what it's supposed to. In my humble opinion. But anyway, yeah, F1 qualifying yesterday. Let's dive back to that.
Let's do that. Let us do that. So, obviously, first things first, big shout out to Nico Hulkenberg.
Yes.
I mean, how incredible was it to see him on a return to form? It's long overdue.
Yeah, it's been about a year. I've really been somewhat underwhelmed with his performances of late, so it's good to see him now starting to get some luck. And I was a bit worried about him being penalised for doing his fastest lap under yellows, but they seemingly just went, "Oh, it's Hulk, we'll let him off with it," and then gave everyone else a penalty.
It's the Hulk, man. It's the Hulk. He's like the Fonz. I could see him cutting about in a leather jacket, pair of cheap shades. Yellow flags, man.
I completely agree.
No, I was really, really pleased, and I think it shows that beneath it all, the Force India is actually a really well put together machine. I think they've shot themselves in the foot to some degree at the start of the season, but I always thought eventually they would come good. I think it's probably a bit late to start coming good, really, to give themselves an easy ride, but I could see them finishing the season respectably if this sort of thing carries on.
Yeah. They've come good slightly earlier than how they really came good last season, I think, just by a few races. So hopefully it will mean that they'll continue to shake up the establishment. And for me, it makes me think Williams need to buck up their ideas, because they're like the next. Who's going to be the next best Mercedes-powered team after Mercedes? Essentially, is what I'm trying to get out of that.
After butchering that sentence.
Yeah.
No, I agree with you. I mean, we had worries about Williams at the start of the season anyway, because it feels like they've been coasting on whatever breakthrough they made in 2014 since they made it. And it doesn't seem like they've really delivered any noticeable improvement since that time. But I mean, that's the problem with F1, right? It's not always apparent if teams made a good call or not, because if it's just, it's all relative, and if the teams around them have also improved, then you just don't see it reflected. And really what you're doing is spending money on the maintenance of your current position rather than an improvement in it. So I don't want to slag them off too much, but let's be frank, badum-tish. They've been very uninspired recently, and I would like to see them doing better than 6th with Brotas.
Yeah, I completely agree. It does feel like Little Miss Coast is
All complete. Mechanics, please stand clear.
the way with Williams, and I don't see where their next step forward comes from either. Whereas with Force India, you can kind of see the bits that are progressing, whereas with Williams, you kind of think, well, all I can see for you is being static now. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, the switch to Mercedes power was like the big one. that's been a big adjustment. And then, of course, they do have some advantage to come, I think, in team coalescing again into something super competitive. Because of the work Claire Williams has done. I don't want to poo-poo that either. She's really worked a miracle there. I'm sorry, my ability to speak has gone away because I'm incredulous at the fact that I've just done my best first sector, but it's for some reason 2/10 off the pace of one of my other best sectors, apparently. I can't comprehend how that was slower than the lap I did on lean fuel. Oh.
I see the dot is not on the track, so I'm
Yes.
assuming you had a runny wide fifth gear around that one.
Occasionally, because I have a very manly driving style, and occasionally I refuse to acknowledge the existence of the brake pedal because it's for the weak, and I have a blind spot for it. See, this is ridiculous now. That massive wide, and you know what? Taking 2/10 out of my best sector 2. How is that even possible? I was in a different state. I was nowhere near the track.
I have just had such a dawning. I've gone out on the same tyres that's already done many laps. I need to go into the pits and quickly change back to my other set so that I can try and go faster and have slightly less worn tyres. I can't do this next in entry and the slightest.
No, I'm going to crash. I can tell you now. I am going to crash.
I'll book that in.
Yeah. Book it in, call the ambulance, call the insurance people.
So it doesn't take a minute of animation.
Call Thora Hurd, get me a stair lift installed.
Oh, come on. This is the only time when I think about the pit lane animation. I'm like, it's pretty, but fucking hurry it up.
Yeah, can you please just get a fucking move on?
Please.
This car just handles terribly, doesn't it?
It's just a bit truckish. Bit Euro Truck Simulator. Oh, don't put the blankets on the tyres. I just want to get back out again.
Can I just add that I fucking love Euro Truck Simulator? I shouldn't love it. That game has no right to be as good as it is.
No, it is what I give the definition of a cult classic. I need to spend time doing more of that game.
It's the Red Dwarf of video games.
Okay, let's go.
Okay, let's go. 2 minutes 20. Come on. Oh, don't lazily. Oh, you're all middle-aged. All your wives want to leave you. Thank you.
I can see why you're so popular within the team. You're a shower of bastards. You can't satisfy your wives. That's why you're all divorced. I'm looking at you, Asian man.
You take it, Asian.
Can we take a moment as well to pay credit to the real McLaren?
Ah, yes, Mr. Patton.
I'm so glad it was him that got the result when it came.
Yes. Since Sky F1, whom I like to, well, actually every single British broadcaster likes to start off, at least in the first 5 minutes of every single broadcast ever, saying, "Is this Button's last year?" So I like to see that he's got a result, and he's had some really shitty calls and 11ths, whereas Alonso gets the glory of being P10.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm with you on that one.
I just dropped to 1 frame a second there for a moment.
Oh.
But I can drive through a slideshow, it seems. I know he always does get a hard rap in the press since McLaren took their downward turn. And I think it is a bit unfair. I mean, I still think it should be his last season, as much as I hate myself for saying that because I'm a big fan of his. But there's just so much talent wasting away because drivers are staying in the sport so much longer than they ever used to. And I honestly, after watching Le Mans, enjoyable parts of it. I'd really like to see what he can do in an LMP1.
Oh, okay.
And also, I can't believe I've missed out on the endurance racing revolution because it is now, I would argue, the best motorsport to watch.
I have to say, I've not been caught onto it, but it's not because I've not really given it a go, if that makes sense. So, would you say WEC is a good place to start?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's a bit weird at first because I'm not used to this idea of multiple classes. But it really is very entertaining to watch. I think the quality of drivers is superb, and there's not the same pay driver problem that you have in Formula 1. There's great manufacturer support. Overall, I think it's, I would highly recommend it. I think you should, take some time out of your day and have a look at a bit of WEC, because it's very, very good. Plus, Mark Webber, champion. Which shows, there is justice in motorsport, just not in F1.
Someone's just posted a faster time. You've been dropped.
But I'd love to see Jensen over that. I think he's the right kind of driver for it. I qualified 13th. I just couldn't string together a good lap. I kept getting occasionally good. Raikkonen's just taken pole. I kept getting good sectors here and there, but nothing spectacular.
Ah, barrier!
No. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Wow.
You are half a second faster than me in S1. In S2, you are 1.5 seconds faster than me. And in S3, you are a tenth faster than me.
Okay.
So I am 2.09 seconds off the back of your qualifying pace.
That's quite unusual to have.
We've not had that disparity on this game before.
No.
Normally you and I have been within half a second of each other.
Yeah. And actually, in qualifying, to be fair, mostly in your favour.
Yeah, which we've not had since 2012.
And it's Kimi Raikkonen on pole for
Kimi
tomorrow's
Raikkonen.
race. After a
It's quite a good lap by him,
fantastic
actually.
lap time that has cemented
Yeah.
his
Half a
place
second clear
in the
of
top spot.
Rosas.
Oh.
All the runs. Kvyat, lol.
Oh, Kvyat. Down 18th even in a Red Bull on this game.
Do you know, I almost spammed you last night with more and more pictures of that Kvyat crash. I was just going to keep going lol and LMAO and Roffle lol and just keep sending them to you. Lol skates.
I couldn't tell if you was pissed at your score or not, or you just laughing your head off at how Daniel's continued to downward spiral into the depths of depression.
Well, just because it was so spectacular. And I've got a lot of love for anything that's spectacularly shit.
Well, we're missing Maldonado this year, so Kvyat has become the new person. Because, annoyingly, everyone is really competent this year. And so when someone sticks out like a sore thumb by, I don't know, crashing into Vettel twice in the same corner, is...
Yeah, I mean, you've got no one else to go after, have you, at the moment?
Yeah.
I mean, I did think we'd spend most of this season talking about how Haryanto shouldn't be in Formula 1, but no, he's been alarmingly competent. I'd even say he's worth giving a second season to.
Yeah. They're negotiating with Haryanto to see whether or not he'll come back after the break, because I think his funding was only till Hungary. Oh no, rain.
Oh, excellent.
Bitch plus.
I actually do alright in the rain on this game. That's heavy rain as well.
That is quick time event heavy rain.
How have I ended up 14th?
Oh, someone must have got a grid penalty.
God damn it.
Lucky for some.
Well, I wonder what crazy strategy they've got me on this time.
One stop.
I see we can't afford any fucking umbrellas, boys.
It's because they've not got them printed in that back to front weird has my printer run out ink pattern.
I have one stop, lap 11.
Yeah. I was lap 11 or 12, yeah.
Well,
Seized along the track.
you and I can maybe have a discussion as lap 11 approaches about who's going to stop when.
Okay.
We always muddle through, usually by me taking the wrong strategy.
Alternate strategy, not wrong. Never wrong.
Sorry, yeah, alternate strategy.
It's never wrong.
I've said it every time, but I hope the new game enables you to do that. Because in this game, like, there tends to be, excuse me, just one strategy to do. And everything else is ridiculous.
Oh dear.
Speaking of ridiculous,
Kvyat?
Sauber have been bought.
Okay,
What?
the restart is confirmed as wet.
Apparently, the ownership of Sauber is going to change.
Oh wow, to who?
They haven't announced, but Colton Vaughan says that she's keeping her job, so it's obviously been bought by an idiot. However,
The track is clear. Green flag.
what a mess that corner was.
Sorry, that might have been me hitting Hamilton that caused such mess. Oh! There's some beautiful...
Was that another big accident?
No, that was a beautiful frame rate problem for a second. We're okay now.
Yeah, the announcement was that the team has received investment which will see it change ownership. I don't know if that's a new name or what. I certainly hope not. I hope they don't, you know, Red Bull Minardi out of existence again.
Well, what is Red Bull in Swiss? I don't know.
Well, it depends because they speak 3 different languages. 4 actually.
Oh, you Swiss peoples.
Look how European I am.
I can tell you're in the EU.
Yeah.
Sobs.
Actually, I was in the pub last night and they were showing pictures from the demonstration in London, the Pro EU one.
Oh yeah.
And they opened with a shot of a man carrying a banner that just says, "I heart croissants."
And that is sadly the level of understanding of what generally people have done in the UK.
It really is a bunch of people thinking, can I buy croissants now?
All I have is Cornish pasties.
I honestly don't mind bendy bananas. At least 20 minutes of heavy rainfall. Bollocks. I wish I hadn't asked now.
Someone's... Oh no, that was me just being slow.
This rain is pretty bad. The first few corners are going to be
Because my setup, I went for greatly reduced downforce over what you're running right now, and obviously that means I'm, you might say, Torval and Deaning it a bit. There's a 90s refs for all the kids that are too young to know what I'm talking about.
Primetime TV.
Those were the days, weren't they, when Torval and Dean could actually be like on Generation Game or something, and people knew who they were.
And be known as the stars of the show.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
The only thing that's remained constant throughout British history, since, you know, before the Norman invasion, in fact, has been Bruce Forsyth.
Yeah, he seems to have been the same age and looking... Of all the stars that have died in 2016, Bruce Forsyth was among one of my chosen. Yet he still stands, and yet everyone else doesn't seem to be.
Bruce Forsyth laughs in the face of death. He got a Brucey bonus sometime in the 8th century. That means he will never die.
Oh dear. I tell you who else got a Brucey bonus. Mr. Pascal Wehrlein yesterday.
Please continue.
Well, 12th on the grid, getting into Q2 for the second time ever in, or the first time in the dry, I think it is for Lama, or second time in the dry, I can't remember.
I'll be honest, I'd be happier for him if he hadn't have been made to look like a total dick by Haryanto on more than 3 or 4 occasions.
Yeah. Because there was a picture that was going around on Facebook that said he'll never amount to nothing, but they all were lying. Which I thought was quite good. Not good enough to share, obviously, but
Maldonado, no! Oh, I almost got past him and then he nudged me out of the way.
see, the AI worked well on that occasion.
Yeah, it did, to be honest.
What
it
is
did.
Pastor up to these days?
He's in negotiations to return to Formula One.
Let's get back up to racing speed.
With more than one team, apparently. I mean, Sauber, I was looking at you, but God only knows
Maldonado
who he's
GP.
talking. Well, I mean, I could actually see Force India. Whose yellow flagged us up a bit?
I'm
Was
not
that
sure.
you?
But I'm sure Hamilton's just passed Raikkonen under the yellow flags. Raikkonen's going really slowly.
I'd just like to point it out that I have overtaken cleanly 3 people.
Wow.
And I'm now 1 position up on where I started. I lost a lot of places in the first corner because there was a big accident and I got backed up. Behind Kvyat, of all people, actually.
Was he the accident?
He was the accident. There was him and Maldonado within a 5 square metre area of each other, and it created a singularity of fail.
I've just taken Raikkonen for third.
Can you stop being quite so competent? You're going to scare the viewers away.
There's quite a lot of running wide going on. Good job there's no track
If you
limit.
finish this race on the podium, Belgium, in the wet with the dry setup, people will be thinking I might as well go watch TM UK, whatever my name is.
Hey guys, just
Like
doing
and
a
subscribe.
video, like, subscribe. Such pictures.
This is me last to first in a Red Bull. It's the 10th take because all the ones I fucked up I didn't bother doing the voiceover for.
Yeah, what do we open with? Is Esteban upside down. Boom. We should have a Kvyat compilation. The even is alliterated.
I still do mean to do a 5th anniversary compilation for us. Do you know that you're going to find this a bit odd, but my girlfriend and some of her work friends watched back some of our 2013 season.
That is really precise and random.
Because I don't know, they got talking about it or something, and she'd said, "Oh, well, my boyfriend contributes to a kind of like a podcast sort of thing on Formula One," and so I ended up watching like 2 or 3 episodes on YouTube. I was like, "Why did you pick 2013? That was the worst season."
Oh, right.
Green flag, we're racing again.
But the thing is, it made me go back and watch it, and there is some great compilation moments in there that I really do feel need to be honoured. I mean, there's some that we always remember and always reminisce about, but there's actually... I very rarely find cause to use the term cavalcade, but there is a cavalcade of spinning bow tie fuckery in almost every episode.
That's just how I roll.
If there's a custom helmet designer in F1 2016, I will actually put a spinning bow tie on my helmet.
With the spinning. Right, I've got us the best patenting idea ever. We need to patent a helmet that allows you to. That's actually a screen that you can download GIFs onto. So that actually the helmet changes colours throughout the race, and then Vettel can have all his helmet designs in one Grand Prix.
Nate, you've just invented the future. The future wasn't going to happen until you happened.
Exactly. I literally burst out of my mother's vagina with ideas at the plenty. Can't keep me inside these meat cleavers. Oh my god, no! Meat curtains. That's what I meant to say.
Meat
Mother?
curtains. Oh!
Was that an appreciation for a meat curtain, or was that, oh dear, I've just crashed?
I didn't crash.
This is
A
good.
Red Bull just punted me off at Eau Rouge.
Ooh.
Mate, if that had happened in real life, I would be dead about. And I've totally lost my front wing, so that's my race bollocks. Again, I passed him cleanly coming out of the first corner, and I almost double bubbled and got signs as well. They were very slow getting out of the corner, and then obviously there's that big straight before you go up Eau Rouge, and they have the engine power advantage. So I think it was Ricciardo, it could have been Kvyat, got alongside me, and he just tapped my rear right as we took, you know, there's that first kink as you go up the hill.
Yeah, yeah.
And I made like a 1080-degree spin into the barrier. I will tag it to the end of the next episode of qualifying with zero.
That is exactly what was happening to me when I practiced at 3 o'clock this morning, quite a lot. So,
But I mean, like that isn't a corner to make an overtaking move, in my mind.
no, I think we saw Weather do it once, didn't we?
Yeah, and the fact is, like, he also ended his own race. Like, that Red Bull is out of the race. So, you know, the AI, why would it have made that decision? That's what I don't understand. People say, yeah, the AI races harder. I don't think they do. Again, I want to shout out to Project Cars because the AI there is actually phenomenal. I find they race really hard but fair. And here I think Codemasters, in the attempt to try and improve the experience, have gone just race hard.
Yeah. It reminds me of when you used to do the aggression meter on, I can't remember how I've just got it actually, but the NASCAR games that Sierra used to do, NASCAR 2003, you'd have like each driver would have an aggression meter so that you'd know whether or not that's the kind of driver that will just stick it to the inside. It's like they've just turned them all up to 100. It's gone, LOLs.
Well, at least now I can talk again. Because now it literally doesn't matter what I do. I'm like half a lap down on Merry. One of these days, we will both finish a Grand Prix in a semi-competent position. It's only ever happened once, and that's when we fluked qualifying in the Caterhams at Melbourne. And we were the only two to have done a qualifying lap in the dry, and then it pissed it down, and we got pole by like 5 seconds. I would love to have seen that happen in real life. Van der Garde, pole position.
Oh, he was commentating on the GP2 race actually. Actually, I know I've said GP2 quite a bit in this episode, and I've probably never ever said GP2 before. But I'm such a fan of it over the last couple of years. I really hate the commentator that's on it. Although Guido van der Garde ended every single sentence that he commentated on with "eh," which just made me go, "Oh, I'm such European." He's like, he just crashed really bad, eh? This safety car is really, really good for everyone, eh? Seriously.
I think that warrants a t-shirt. Just an t-shirt. I'll put it on my list of t-shirts to finish, including the Bottas t-shirt. All caps, 500-point font, Comic Sans.
But sorry, the reason why I was bringing up the GP2 race again was it rained halfway through, but it only rained between corners 2 and 3. And so, just like what you get in Spa, which is why this popped into my head, it was really weird to see half a track completely soaked and half a track completely dry. And there's talk that the weather today in the F1 race will do something quite similar. So it's interesting to see kind of how that will work, because obviously turn 2 at Austria, you're braking uphill, turning into that corner. It's designed for accidents, that corner.
Who do you think those conditions might benefit?
Ferrari and Red Bull.
Yeah, I was going to say, that to me though actually sounds like perfect conditions for Bottas and for Raikkonen and Marcus Ericsson. Fuck it, I'll throw him in there as well. They've got the same kind of flag. Because no, in those countries they have like a really intense driving test. That's why they produce so many rally champions in Finland. Like because of the changeable conditions in the country, the driving test is insane. But it's all about dealing with really changeable conditions and sudden loss of grip and everything. So I actually think we could see Raikkonen benefit from this actually. Hamilton, to be fair, and Button always deal quite well with changeable conditions.
Yeah.
I mean, over the course of a single lapse, maybe a bit of a different kettle of bastards, but it's the same principle.
Yeah, I completely agree. But it was just really interesting to see like how people were coping, because everyone that went onto the wet tyres couldn't pack it because the dry tyres were so much faster for the other 5 corners. So yeah, it was I think a decent prelude to what was going to happen, what could potentially happen.
Why am I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I'm getting a pit in India on lap 7, which was never part of the strategy first of all.
No.
And I pitted on lap 6.
Oh.
Why am I pitting again, Jeff? This doesn't make any sense. This wasn't the deal, Jeff.
That's where it's going to go. You're the guinea pig for options. What?
Yeah. Mate, I really want the game to do that. Even if it costs me every single race, I want the game to do that. I want them to say, the boys were running the numbers, and they think, yeah, we'll put you on the options right now. It sounds ridiculous, I know, but trust me, it's going to work. I'd totally be all over that. I'm going to pitch something to you now, and I want to hear what you think. Is it just me, or is the rain starting to lighten off a bit?
No, I was thinking the same thing. And that's the second fastest lap that we've had in a row. So in the 205s for the second time in a row.
Because I've got a feeling that intermediate season might be on the horizon. I'm not going to test that theory, because every time I've had a theory like that, it has been wrong. It has been spectacularly wrong. I actually got a message, I got an email from someone who's subscribed to my channel, who's obviously come over from here, and I got a very nice email. I think it was from Ryan, I want to say. It came in a few weeks ago, but he said, I think the problem, Esteban, dearest Esteban, sexy Esteban, I'm paraphrasing, is that you've stopped making a decision and then doing the opposite. And I think if you return to that system, you would actually get some solid results.
That's 60% of our starting fuel.
So like every time you think, I'll let Simon pit first, don't, and pit yourself. And every time you think, oh, maybe if I put intermediates on now, there's an advantage to be had, I should stay on the full wets.
Okay.
So, just for you, Ryan, I am staying out on the wets, even though Jeff is telling me to come in.
Okay.
I'm Jean Alacying it.
Oh, Jean.
His son had a
Massive smash, didn't he?
massive accident. I'm excited about the idea of having an Alacy back in Formula 1. I hope it happens.
I don't actually know if his son's any good though, because I've never really, I've not actually seen him drive. Oh, that wasn't what I wanted to happen.
Speaking of sons being good or not being good, I just want to add that I particularly enjoyed Daniel Ricciardo whipping Max Verstappen again yesterday
Yes.
in qualifying by a good few places as well.
Whilst Verstappen has been testing out, what do you make of these sausage curbs? Because he seems to have smashed almost all of them so far.
I've never been particularly sold on them, to be honest with you. But then I've never been particularly sold on Verstappen. I think he is the talent everyone says he is, but he doesn't have to be that talent right now.
Yeah.
And I think it would suit him better, or serve him better long run, to be in a position where he's putting himself under less pressure, and the team puts him under less pressure, and then his talent is allowed to blossom.
P3.
Fine, Jeff, fine.
25 kilograms of fuel.
You won't shut up about it. I'm going to come into the pits, but it better be worth my time. Better be an ice cream or a scotch or something.
Oh, I think my tyres have gone. I've got a nice little train of Ferraris and Williams as well.
I have got nothing but clear air. I can see off in the distance, though, the bouffanted hair of Robert Merry
For you, and it looks like this set is coming to the end of its life. We don't
and his Merry Marussia.
much more time before it's completely gone. The grip loss will be sudden, so be ready.
God, he's slow. He's terribly slow.
I love how
I
they've
think
made him about a second and a half slower than Stevens in this game.
They've made him a second and a half slower than he was. In real life, I mean, he was poor, but he was never this poor.
Oh, what the fuck was that?
We're on the right tyres at the moment.
Right, that's exactly the same problem that I had.
The
Right.
front wing is in a really bad
Oh, who
state.
smashed you up?
Back in the pits this lap.
How bad is it?
Let's pit for some front wing and some tyres. But that was out, I think.
Good.
And I think he took Raikkonen off with him.
Oh, glorious.
We can still get points. We can still get points. But it's the same two places. So before we went live, viewers, I said I was doing a quick practice, and the two places that the AI like to take you out is into Eau Rouge, and that's where they got you, and then the turn before Blanchimont, which is where they got me.
Strategy complete.
No, nothing is not consistent, cunts.
I'm really hoping that Cody sort a lot of this for 2016, because I'm planning to do a career playthrough on my channel. And I don't think I'll make it through if the AI is this bad. I'm torn between a Project Cars playthrough or a F1 2016 playthrough, and by nature, because I know people who subscribe to my channel enjoy a bit of F1, I kind of erred towards doing the F1 playthrough. But to be honest, if the contract negotiation sub-game, you know, the agent and the team relationship sub-game isn't as good as the indications appear to be, and the AI is as reckless as it is in this game, I don't think I'd manage to get through that playthrough. The other thing as well, of course, is trying to figure out how long to make each episode, right? Because statistically, people tend to stop watching after about 20 minutes.
Yeah.
But I don't think I can be relied upon to, like, do a respectable editing job to get, like, an hour of footage down to 20 minutes and get all the good bits in. So
I like to watch things all the way through as well, and I realise that because when I look at my YouTube stats, I know I'm very much in a minority on that, but I wonder if it's worthwhile not bothering to edit, but sticking timestamps in the description as to when the juicy stuff is.
yeah, actually, that might be a way of doing it. Or do like a full episode and a highlight reel playlist.
Yeah,
maybe.
yeah.
I'm trying to put more effort in, because I've really blocked recently, and I hate to use that word because it makes me sound like a hippie, but I've had a lot of subscribers turn up actually. over the last few weeks. Like, I've gone from being in the 30s to being, I think I'm at almost 80 now, in a very short period of time. And that makes me want to sort of do a better job for the people that are actually bothering to hit subscribe and sticking around.
Yeah.
And something I did learn, actually, is that the 20-minute rule applies to everything except Grand Prix World.
Ooh.
People love a bit of 50-minute Grand Prix World. And that's only because I can't fucking shut up. There's no reason ever for any of my episodes to be 50 minutes long. But it tends to be my pre-season build-up specials where I look at who's moved where and everything and talk about why the AI might have made that decision. And I end up waffling on for like an hour. I'm starting a new Grand Prix World playthrough actually, with Jordan doing driver development, which I'm excited
Oh,
about.
I spotted the name of that on your channel because I was having those through because I do your videos in bulk. I don't believe when I go to your channel.
I can tolerate you, Esteban, but only in controlled doses.
Well, no, what I normally end up doing is getting a massive bag of Doritos for family sharing, of course, and then demolishing them whilst nomming through your videos.
I am glad I can provide the proverbial dip to your Dorito.
Ah, you're a definite Esther Dippage. Call me Dip.
But do you know actually though, that's what I tend to get messages like that from new subscribers. I got one from a guy the other day. I'm really bad at remembering names because I get a lot more comments now than I used to when it was easy to remember.
Sorry.
And I got a comment from someone saying, just sending you a message to let you know that I'm on episode 38 of Grand Prix World and I've watched them all back to back.
Oh,
And
wow.
I was like, that is something like 14 hours of footage. He said, yeah, I've been binge watching your Grand Prix World playthrough. And like, I'm torn between being flattered and wanting to send like a message back saying,
Sorry.
maybe go outside for a bit. Join a church, get a pet.
No. Like, comment, subscribe. Like, comment, subscribe.
Like, comment, and subscribe, guys. Go to my Spreadshirt store. My game's frozen.
Oh no, is that why we are yellow flagging?
Be aware, there's an incident in the next part of the
Display driver AMD driver.
Vibrating
Stop
post.
stomping.
Oh, it says you've left the game.
The D3D device has been removed. Try updating your drivers.
Oh no.
It's okay, we'll consider it like I've crashed out.
So the problem
It's
is
basically what
that
happened
I
anyway.
can't now hear, I won't hear your audio on this recording from now on.
Okay.
Do you have anything that you can record with it?
No.
Right, that solves me going back to the old setup. Or do you want to start again?
Good question. The problem is I don't trust it now. I've had this problem with this graphics card all along. Occasionally it just stops functioning. I don't know why. See, I normally I would say yeah, let's just start again. But the problem is that like I'm pledged to clean the apartment. It sounds like my mum's told me to clean my room. And yeah, I don't know if I can. I don't know if I can. But I could reshoot this one evening during the week if you wanted.
That was the fastest lap of the race so far. Okay, you're
Or you could just solo the end of this episode.
behind by a few seconds per
The
lap.
fastest lap of the race as well.
So maybe
Maybe I should.
maybe it's good.
Maybe if we solo the end of this, you should shout to me your predictions for the Grand Prix, and then we'll leave it as a "Were we any good?"
All right then. My predictions for the Grand Prix. First out, I'm calling as not Kvyat for once, but Palmer.
So Palmer is the first out for Esteban. Sorry, I'm having to translate back into the video.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, I think it might be just about time to come and
I'll
change
agree
these
with that.
tyres.
I'm going to say podium will be Hamilton first. It's really difficult, actually, isn't it? Because of the way the grid lines are.
Yeah.
I'm going to say Hamilton to win, Ricciardo second, and Raikkonen third.
Double rare.
Yeah. I mean, Rosberg's only one place behind Ricciardo, but I just think he'll have a tough time to get by.
He doesn't seem to do well from a burn from the back as good as other people, does he?
No, but I can only see Hulkenberg and Button going backwards.
Yeah, like I say, Hulkenberg will stick around longer and maybe get a top 6 for me. Button may get a 10th.
Yeah, that's the way I see it. What are your predictions?
My predictions? I don't want Hamilton to win, but I can't see much else at the minute. Oh dear, that was a...
You might want to move the brake balance forward.
Oh, I fucked this up. However, everyone else is coming to the pits. I think they've gone for intermediates and I've
Today,
continued
keep
on.
alert going into the opening corners.
It's only one lap, he says.
Oh, I think it's got suddenly really skiddy. But normally they kind of say, like, boom. Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, I worry a bit. That's a lot of grass in the region. Hamilton, I think, will win, sadly. Unless their tyres go off and it's like hot and dry, in which case I'm going to say Ricciardo or
We need to
Vettel.
keep up the pace. The gap to the car behind is 4 seconds.
Because I think Ferrari
Great.
are gonna. This is Ferrari's best chance to win for a very, very, very long time. I don't think Raikkonen's gonna. I think Raikkonen's choke.
He is a bit of a choker, isn't he? To be fair, he is a bit. I think I can kind of get behind you on that.
I'd quite like to see. I know what's a good prediction. How many suspension failures do we think will be? With El Sausage. What we get?
3 is the magic number.
3. Okay.
I'm gonna call it 3 is the magic number. What I'm also going to do right now, live on air, even though no one can hear it, is I'm going to build a new computer because this one. Nope. Serious? Ever since I've had this one, everything's worked fine except the graphics card, which just keeps crashing. It just keeps crashing.
I'm doing something a bit crazy. I'm going straight from wets to dries.
That, mate, that's a bit. That is a bit. It's ballsy. I'll give you that. It is ballsy.
Release.
There's no spray. That's why.
Well, no, to be fair, it does tend to be a good
Unless
sign.
I've turned it off my graphics.
Okay, stay clear of the white line on the exit. We'll receive a penalty
Yeah,
for
but-
dangerous driving if you cross over into the track.
But would you have?
Oh yeah, this was bad.
Our fuel level is now
I'm glad we
15
confirmed
kilos.
that.
There are 15 kilos of fuel remaining.
So I'm thinking of getting one of these fancy new things with 8 gig of video RAM because just why not? Just why not? It's expensive though, gaming.
It is, especially gaming is expensive, especially when there's a Steam sale on.
That is true. I've spent far too much money on Steam sale. I know it's not F1 related, but can you run me down what you have purchased?
Yes, I've purchased a few things on Steam. The first one is Track Day Manager. Yeah, this is a bad idea.
Oh, Barry Clunge.
Yeah, I was inspired by your videos. Let's go.
top stuff, man. Top stuff.
I may race Barry Clunge out. That'd be really good.
Yeah.
With peers.
We need to have a showdown. We can have a multiplayer showdown. Is multiplayer made it into the game yet? I know it was planned.
I can't remember.
Come off it, you slag! I just realised no one can hear my offensive copy.
No one can hear you offensively shouting swear words in my ear. But I'm so proud and delighted that you've chosen to do this.
Your MP6
Why
you've dropped to
doing this to
P6.
me, video games?
That was definitely the wrong decision. Back in. It's annoying though because actually they're chopping seconds off the lap time. Another 2 laps that
Because that's what always bothers me, right? Because it's only a matter of time until you have to come in again anyway.
Yeah, and it's so formulaic, I think, is what my problem is that Hamilton done it in Monaco.
No.
Yeah. What I may do though is just stay out in intermediates and not coming when they go to six. Be like, nah. Still in ninth though, so that's not too bad. What else have I bought? I bought loads of like weird little games actually this time around. Because I had where I've had my debit card closed, they took all my
Looks like
money.
some of those puddles are clearing.
So
We're still on the right
They
track
took all your monies.
they did.
miles away from
That
sleep
That is
conditions.
unacceptable.
It is. Especially, it was doubly unacceptable when Steam's summer sale was going. What time? I was like, so yeah, I've not been able to. Well, actually, I have fully enjoyed the Steam summer sale. I've got for loads and loads of games that require you to be blind.
I'm sorry. What?
So there's 2 games that I've got. One's called Pulse and one's called a blind night or a blind journey or something like that. And none of, so the first one, the entire screen is just a black mist and it's just an auditory experience and you have to either move around or like do choices or do battle. It's completely blind and dealing with just noise, which I think will be really interesting. It's probably a bit weird and rubbish spectacle.
It does seem to be.
Oh fuck
I don't know,
off, they're all in the pits going to the very next lap.
Yeah, I figured that might have happened.
I'm going to call this the aggressive Simon episode.
Why not?
And then the other one's called Pulse, which is where someone's got like is partially sighted, and so everything around you is you like send out a pulse from your eyes or whatever, and it kind of fills out the world around you as you feel it, kind of thing. Interesting.
Oh no, I do like when games make interesting ideas like that. I'm not against trying new things. I just want to make that clear.
Yeah.
For example, on holiday in Croatia, I actually tried bruschetta for the first time.
Bruschetta for the first time.
So, you know, I am a cultured man of the world.
That is culture right there. And using Croatia, showing that you do not just hold up in your own corner of the EU.
Exactly. Exactly.
I'm delighted to know EU citizens.
DRS has been enabled. DRS is now enabled.
I've also DRS is now enabled. That means what else was I say? Oh, I've got in my true Japanese stupid fashion. I've also got a game called Super Kitty Boing Boing.
That is the best name for a video game I have ever heard in my life.
Can I say I've bought it purely on the name?
Of course you can,
I bought it purely on the name. So yeah,
because it was the right decision to make.
definitely was. 4-player local club. Because every year I do this thing called Smithy Con, where I get people that I sim race with quite often, who I don't necessarily see in person. Basically, we all bundle around mine. I get out all of my weird and wacky games, and we all get thoroughly drunk. And then normally I bring out like a weird, obscure movie that freaks everyone out, and we'll go home.
That's good. So you invite everyone around to your house, make them uncomfortable,
Yeah.
and then they leave.
Yeah, exactly. And then
Some of the best parties I've ever been to have been like that.
there's normally a prize for the winner because you clock up points as you go along. What I'm desperate to try and get is one of those. Do you remember the Games Master that face that used to come down and go like, "Urgh, now we're going to play Diddy Kong Racing."
I do.
I want to get one of those like cosplays so that I can just freak everyone out by being a sentient head.
Right, I have built a new computer.
You literally built a new computer whilst reading.
Well, I have configured one. I have configured it. Fuck me, it's expensive. The problem is, like, you know, I suppose it's probably like for people who buy a new car, where it's like, oh, maybe I should just get the optional ceramic brakes package, you know? And before you know it, you've spent like an extra 20 grand or something. Like, I'm looking now at a machine, like, I'm trying to future-proof myself a little bit for the sake of my channel, but I'm looking at a €1,900 machine. And that's just the box. There's no monitor there or peripherals of any description.
Does that come with Windows 10?
It does come with Windows 10, which cost me an extra €100, by the way.
What? You don't get a free upgrade?
No.
I've not upgraded to Windows 10 actually. Oh, actually, viewers, if you've actually made it this far in this confusion, if anyone has upgraded to Windows 10, do most games still run with it?
I've been running Windows 10, and yes, they do.
Oh, cool.
I've not had any problem with modern games in Windows 10. What I have had problems with is my AMD graphics card, which is ridiculous.
Because it's the last month, isn't it? It's a bit of a free, so
I really like Windows 10. It's got a bad reputation over here because of like personal data issues and stuff like that. People think it's a bit evil, but I quite like it. The only time, actually no, I tell a lie, I have had one problem with it, with gaming, and that was on one of our episodes where Cortana overheard me say something and then tried to send you an email, and it minimised the game.
Damn you, Cortana, getting in the way.
It typed out a message that was like, no, no, no. Where are you at?
I'm at 20 of 22, I'm in 8th position. It is dry enough for slicks, but no one seems to be coming in apart from Verstappen who did.
Boo, Verstappen.
He's behind me. I've got 5, 6 and 7 on the head of me. That's really annoying. My Esteban choice of strategy has cost me a podium, but I'm still getting points for us to share.
Just 5 kilos of fuel remaining.
Although I'm going to have to go down to next one because I appear to have used too much fuel.
This is traditionally your problem. I save fuel without even knowing that I'm doing it. Last time out, I was running like fuel mix 3 for the final third of the race.
Everyone's pitted with 2 laps to go. I'm not pitting. Fuck it.
Oh mate, is this going to be a glory finish? Surely not.
And then literally, like the first corner, so I'm now back up to 4th, but literally the first corner after everyone pits, and you start skidding wide. I hate that it's not a gentle curve, and it's just a, now you're on the wrong tyre, because I clicked the button. Fuck it. I'm here now, let's just hang on. Yeah, you must lift and coast into corners or something, or be.
I do actually lift and coast quite a bit.
You do. Okay.
Because I have a tendency to lock my
Whoa.
brakes.
Flavour has joined the game. Who's that?
Oh my god, has 80s rapper Flavor Flav joined? Well, you know, if I wouldn't mind being replaced on the show by Flavor Flav. It's been nice working with you.
Did we make an open session?
I might have done by accident. Well, at least this is an interesting finish.
Oh, there you go, he's left now. That lasted as long as his career. Wow. Everything's
Okay, we're
happening.
running pretty light at this point. There's just 5% of our initial
Should I tell you
fuel
what I picked up
Yes, tell us what you picked up. Yeah. I'll replay it.
on the Steam sale? So I picked up Warhammer Vermintide, which is actually quite good. It's kind of like a extension on Left 4 Dead 2.
balance to the rear. This may stop your front tires from locking.
I picked up Project Cars, obviously,
Yeah.
for the win.
Sounds like you like
Honeycomb Studio for my channel
Oh,
because
Honeycomb.
I thought, you know, bit of dirty porn making on the channel might go down quite well.
the resource management game that no one asked for, but they made it anyway.
And I got Clandestine.
Clandestine.
Yeah, so that is a
Sorry, hang on. I think that's probably
That
my
move
fault.
was reckless. We're lucky not to have been penalised.
We just haven't no rouge.
Green flag. Green flag.
Oh.
Racing again.
It's okay, I'm still
Oh
going.
dear.
What's Clandestine? Sorry.
It's a two-player co-op game
Test one,
where
two,
one of you
three.
plays as like a Sam Fisher secret agent type woman, and the other plays as a support character out of the game world. So you're like hacking into security cameras and triggering alarms and stuff. So basically, you have like a camera on the agent and like a general interface that you can use to sort of assist them remotely. It's quite a cool dynamic, I think. Oh, and I got Pulsar, the Lost Colony, and I'm going to send you a copy because I'm trying to get together people to try and give that game a go, because it's kind of like a cheesy Star Trek em-up where you get together like 4 or 5 people and you crew a spaceship and you beam down to planets and complete little tasks and stuff, and it's really developed quite well, and it's turned into something quite rich and deep. And then I got Borderlands 2, which is like the game everybody in the world has now because it's always on sale for $1.99, and How to Survive, which I got because a friend bought it, so peer pressures. Well, actually, no, I think it was closed when I was hosting it, but now you're the host. I think it defaults to open.
Where's the microphone? Hello.
Hello, Flavour. How are you?
Can you hear me?
I can hear
One
you.
time.
Can you hear me?
Okay.
Actually, Flavour, who's going to win the Austrian Grand Prix today?
Sorry?
Who's going to win the Grand Prix?
Nico Rosberg is proving himself to be a real star of Formula One with another
Well,
impressive win here today.
I hope
Cracking
for
drive by the
Rosberg, but
Mercedes
I'm not sure.
Flavour says Rosberg then.
So I I've been replaced by.
So how is
it
this
is
working
Rafa,
here? I'm
who has made
playing
an
this
incorrect
multiplayer the
prediction.
first time ever in my life. I have no clue how
I'm
it
sorry,
works.
there is no way.
Do we need to wait 1 hour or
I see
what?
Rosberg winning this Grand Prix.
No, there is.
I'd like
no
to,
way.
I think.
I'm just saving that and getting rid of that. And closing. 2 seconds. I'm really sorry, Flavour. That was really harsh. So, hang on 2 seconds. Let me just bring you back, and then I shall record the end of this like little Skype call so that you can because you've survived this long. Let me just quickly bring up. Right. So, if this ever happens in the future, I will not record the way how I have done. Where's my Skype recorder? So, Flavour's parting words to me was, I've never played multiplayer before. How does it work? Do I have to wait an hour?
Oh,
So that was not good.
poor guy.
Oh, hang on. So I need to go 3, 2, 1, record, just so that it clicks together and we know what's going on. Well, I finished 6th or 7th with a puncture and no front wing. So still points. It was all good. That was fucked up.
You got a puncture, mate.
Yeah.
Mate, it wasn't your day.
It wasn't my day. That podium was mine, but I think it was good old Hulkenberg got his revenge yet again.
Well, I feel pretty vindicated actually that I got replaced by Flavor Flav. I have a lot of respect for his work. He's not been around very much in recent years, but I do have a lot of respect for his work.
I feel very confused right now and slightly violated. I don't like randoms. I like to play with my people that I knows.
The thing for me is that this was technically a classic episode, technically speaking.
Yeah.
Because of course we effed it up.
As we always do.
Completely.
Ever so well.
I really do need to I really need to make sure that in future I get a better graphics card, because the problem has always been that my graphics card just quits on me. It just quits on me, and the problem is that my system is configured in such a way that I can't just change the graphics card because it balls everything else up.
Boom.
You know what I mean? Like, there's a compatibility issue
Yeah.
where if I want to have any kind of serious upgrade, I basically have to rip the entire thing out.
Ugh.
So I reckoned that I need to build a new PC because, particularly with F1 2016, I'm determined that that is going to be the first playthrough that we get right.
Boo. Well, I need to look at some kind of upgrade for mine, I think, because it's chugging along recording at about 30 FPS, but I'm not on full screen or anything like that. So it'd be nice to be able to play a game, have it record, and not notice too much of a drop in performance. So
Yeah, you're actually overdue for an upgrade, aren't you?
yeah,
You've had that system for quite a while.
yeah, good. Ooh. Almost all the time since we've done this, so it's done me well. And I think I upgraded the RAM to 8GB RAM. That was good, but I think that's now like massively overweighting everything else. So it's round.
Well, I'm afraid I have to call it here, simply because my computer is now properly hard crashed and I'm staring at a black screen
Oh.
that isn't reinitializing. I can hear you and you can still hear me, but the graphics card has just died.
Well, that about sums it up then.
Yes. Thank you so much for joining us.
we look forward to another complete disaster episode here, but we're back to being more regular, like a bowel movement. So, all the very best, Esther Ben. I'm delighted to have had you around, even if it went
For at least 30% of the race.
Exactly. So yes, you guys will take care. We're off to watch the Austrian Grand Prix. If I can get this uploaded before it kicks off, fantastic. I don't think I will. So we'll see exactly how terrible our predictions were afterwards. Take care.
Ciao.
Main. Oh dear. Poor you.
Oh mate, I wish I could have restarted that with you, but I don't think it's too bad. Flavor Flav spice things up a little bit.